So, truthfully, I don't know how much I'm going to read into this one because the Rangers have been beating everybody on the road this season, and tonight was no different. Um, just inconsistent effort for the Sens tonight, and it definitely showed. So, Thursday, December 4th, the Sens played their 27th game of the season against the New York Rangers. It was a 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time, and it is the first home game for the Sens in a while. I did not put down the exact date, but it's been a while. It's been like 2.5 weeks since they played at home, and go figure, their first home game in forever is against the best road team in the league. So, yeah, just figures, right? That's just their luck. So, this was the first meeting of the season between these two teams, and this is the first home game for Kachuk since October 13th, because of course he was out for a while, right? So, yeah, it's been almost 2 months for him since he's played at home, so that's good for him. So it was Levi Merilainen in net for the Sens and Igor Shesterkin in net for the Rangers, and he kind of showed tonight why he's one of the best goalies in the league, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people would have that same opinion. So the Sens were 13-9-4 coming into tonight, 6-3-2 at home. The Rangers were 14-12-2 coming into tonight, but 11-4-1 on the road. Just insane. Like they've been beating everybody. Now, I feel like the bigger concern, if you're a Sens fan, is not tonight's result, it's the injuries. So, Shabbat is still out. I heard it's going to be maybe 10 days before he comes back. And now Zub is out as well. Zub did not play tonight. He is out day to day. So, Dennis Gilbert made his season debut tonight. And I thought he looked okay. I didn't really see anything like too crazy from him or like any bad misplays or anything. So I thought he looked okay tonight. And Eller is also out. He did not play either. So Greg draws back in, and Halliday also drawed back in. And there was an injury during this game, which we will get to. And I feel like that's probably your biggest concern right now if you're a Sens fan. I would be on that boat, but I'll get to that as I go through my notes. But what can you do, right? I mean, again, this team has been beating everybody on the road, and I don't know how much I want to read into it because it's the Rangers. They're unstoppable on the road, apparently. Alright, so let's go ahead and break down this game and get into the stats here. So the Sens do lose to the Rangers on home ice by a score of 4-2. So the Rangers now have a record of 15-12-2, and the Sens are 13-10-4. So it's not a great record. I mean, they've won less than half of their games. Like I know they're above 500, but I don't know. Like I know there's a lot of mediocrity in the league right now. There's a lot of teams hovering around that 500 mark, and the Sens are one of them. So yeah, just I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. So shots were 28-27 in favor of the Rangers. Face-offs, it was a rare off night for the Sens. They actually won 45.1% of the face-offs compared to 54.9% for the Rangers. Special teams, this team is so bizarre sometimes, I tell you, because in the last game against Montreal, their special teams were terrible, but they won. And now tonight, their special teams were pretty darn good, but they lost. The team is so confusing, man. So they were power plays 0 for 1 for the Rangers, 2 for 3 for the Sens. So, like, just make sense of it, right? So, I mean, if there is a positive you want to take out of it, there you go. They were 2 for 3 on the power play, which is good because their power play has been a problem lately. So, penalty minutes 6 for the Rangers, 2 for Ottawa. Hits were 30-22 in favor of the Sens. Block shots 17-13 for the Sens. Giveaways 18 for the Rangers, 13 for the Sens. And takeaways were 2 for the Rangers and 6 for the Sens. So these two teams will meet again on January 14th in New York. So yeah, just I feel like I say this a lot, but The stats, it does look like a pretty close game when you look at the stats, but which again seems to happen a lot this season. There's a lot of parity in the league right now, as we're well aware of. And again, like this, I don't know how much I want to read into this one because it's the Rangers, right? They got a ridiculous road record, but we'll go through my notes and we will break down the game here. So the first period. I thought the Sens played pretty well in the first period, but the score would not really indicate that. So there was a couple of missed calls on the Rangers, I thought. I thought they missed a couple of calls. So Carrick would have a good chance. He would walk in, and that was a good stop by Maryline there. Then there was a 2-on-1 not long after that, a 2-on-1 for the Rangers, and Miller would give it to Zibanejad, and he would score. Of course, the former Sen doing it in Ottawa. So Mika Zibanejad scoring at the 3:19 mark of the first from Miller and Panarin, and the Rangers are up 1-0 pretty early in the game. We're 3:19 in, so not a good start, and it gets worse. So Kachuk gets a breakaway and he was stopped, and then he actually got his own rebound and that was stopped as well. Shesterkin made a lot of big saves tonight, and again, just showing why he's one of the best goalies in the league. So he definitely showed that tonight. Okay, I apologize for the random cut that you're gonna see there, but anyways. So yeah, Batherson would show some good patience in the slot, and he would actually hit the post here. There were a few posts tonight for both teams. So I literally put in my notes here, it was a good first half of the period for the Sens, I thought, even though they were down 1-0. And I literally put in brackets, jinx, because guess what happens? That this play looks weird, man. So the Sens are all back, it looks like they're in good position, but then Gavrikov is the only man open, so he receives a pass, he walks in, and he scores. So the Rangers have 2 goals on their first 3 shots of the game, so not good. So yeah, the Sens are down 2-0 fairly early into the game. So Gavrikov would score at the 9:45 mark of the first from Schneider and Miller, and the Sens find themselves down 2-0 pretty early in the game. So just it's not looking good at this point. It's really not. Even though I feel like the Sens are still playing well. Just the Sens, it's like, okay, is everything they shoot gonna go in tonight? It kind of felt like that. So shortly after that goal, the Sens would hit the post again. I didn't put down who the player was, but they hit another post. And then Shesterkin would make a huge glove save not long after that on Batherson. So that's 2 really good chances for Batherson there, and he couldn't score. So, the Sens could easily have 1 or 2 right now, but they have 0. So, Rangers would get a shot that was stopped, and the puck actually ends up on the net, like on top of the net on that play, so that could have went in as well. That was dangerously close. So, now, a replay showed that Pinto went to the dressing room. He got hit awkwardly into the boards, and he did not return. So, they didn't say... They said later on in the second period that he was not coming back, so that's, remember what I said at the beginning of the video? That's probably your biggest concern right now if you're a Sens fan. I don't know how serious it is. I don't know how long he's going to be out, if he's going to miss any time. But obviously that is a huge blow because Pinto leads this team in goals. So this is, me personally, that's my biggest concern coming out of this game is the health of Pinto. So yeah. He would end up missing the rest of the game, which obviously did not help their cause tonight. So, yeah, we'll wait and hear what happens with Pinto. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything yet. So, yeah, not good if you're a Sens fan. So, the Rangers would take a penalty, and Dylan Cousins would get a shot from the slot, and he would rip this one past Shesterkin for the first goal of the night for the Sens and the first home goal in forever. And it was on the power play. So I don't know if I put... Okay, I didn't put down what the penalty was for, but anyways, it was a power play goal. So Dylan Cousins scores pretty late in the period too, at the 18:30 mark. and Batherson and Sanderson would get the assists, and that is Cousins' ninth goal of the season, and also his team-leading fifth power play goal. So you love to see that. You love to see their power play do something, because we know it's been struggling for a while now, so that's good. So, they pull within one, they're down 2-1. There was a point shot not long after that by the Rangers. It was deflected. That was a good save by Merlainen. So we end the first period, and the Sens are down 2-1, but I still feel like they played a pretty good first period. The shots were 11-9 for Ottawa after the first period, so I thought they played pretty good. They had a post. Shesterkin made a good save or two, and I feel like this game, it could have went either way at this point. So we roll into the second period, and this is where the problem was. The problem tonight wasn't the third period, it was the second period tonight. So the Sens, they are on their heels to start this period. I don't know, it's like that just suddenly second period starts and they look completely exhausted. So the Rangers are getting a lot of zone time at the start of the second period. So Zibanejad would have a good chance that shot would go off the mask of Merlainen and actually knock the strap loose on his mask, but he was okay. Just a stoppage in play there because of the loose strap. So right here, this is where Kenzie Lalonde, the commentator, she mentions that Pinto will not return tonight with the lower body injury. So again, if you're a Sens fan, this is probably your biggest concern right now, because if he misses any time, any extended period of time, that's not going to be good for this team. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I put it down again. The Sens are really back on their heels to start this period. So the Rangers would cycle it around, and Borgen would have a wrister, and it would go straight in. He just walks in, he takes a wrist shot, and it goes straight in. It doesn't hit anything, and the Rangers score. Kind of saw that one coming. So Borgen would score at the 7:24 mark of the second period. Susi and Brodzinski drawing the assist there, and the Rangers go up 3-1. So I'm not feeling great at this point, to be honest, because the Sens look exhausted, and we know how good this team has been on the road, so I'm not feeling too great at this point. And yeah, we see how it ended. So the Sens on that goal, they were on the ice for a very long time. That shift, I didn't put down what the ice times were, but it was kind of brutal. So then Zibanejad would have a good look. That was stopped. And then Stützle would get called for a cross-checking penalty on Trocheck. I thought Trocheck went down pretty easily here. It was not much, but nonetheless, it's a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty, but it was. I'm starting to notice that Stützle is getting that reputation around the league now. He does fall a lot, which I did put somewhere in my notes. I think it's in the third period. Stützle seemed to be falling a lot more tonight than usual. I don't know what's going on, but that penalty, it did not look like a penalty. I think Trocheck should have got some 2 for embellishment, but anyways. So we are 15 minutes into the second period, and the Sens have just 3 shots. It's not good enough. It's just not. So there was a bad giveaway by the Rangers to Tkachuk, and this was a big save by Shesterkin, and it was just a rough period for the Sens. So the shots end up finishing 12-6 for the Rangers in that second period. Or I'm actually looking at it right now. The site's saying 12-7 for the Sens, or sorry, the Rangers. So yeah, just not a great looking period. The Sens look exhausted, and we get the announcement that Pinto is not returning, so it's not a good period. And at this point, I'm not feeling great. And it did not get any better once the third period started, because, well, we roll into the third period, and the Rangers are 8-0 when leading after 2 periods. So I was like, okay, game over. You can probably turn off your TV now. And it was game over. Just a news flash. So Rangers would beat out an icing call, and again, just Sens look really slow here, right? So they would get a shot after that, and that was stopped by Merlainen. And here it is in my notes. The Sens have looked very slow since the start of the second period. And I know McLennan, the commentator, he also mentioned that they just look very lethargic, and they did. So I don't know if it's the long road trip, just getting back from that road trip, but they look good in the first period. So I don't know. Just I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for it, but um, yeah. So Kachuk would make a nice pass to Stutzla, and he was in all alone, and he was stopped by Shesterkin, and then he actually ends up crashing into Shesterkin here. They were both okay, but this is what I mean. This is where I put it in my notes too. Like, it seems like Stutzla is falling way more than usual tonight. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if there's something going on with his skate or like what the heck is happening, but he was falling a lot tonight. So, yeah, I just want to make a note of that. So Rangers would take an elbowing penalty. This is their. I figured this was their chance for the Sens. Like, if they're gonna come back in this game, this is their chance. And what happens? There was one shot on that power play for the Rangers. Sens power play. There was one shot, shorthanded for the Rangers. So that tells you how that one went, right? But then, not long after that, there was a slashing penalty by the Rangers. I'm like, okay, they have another chance. So then I'm like, okay, this is their chance. If they're going to come back, then this is their chance to make it happen. So, the, there was a one-timer by Kachuk. This shot is going a mile wide. It's going into, like, the corner. But it bounces off Batherson, and it goes in. You want to talk about a fluke or a lucky bounce? They definitely needed that. So, yeah, Batherson would end up scoring on the power play at the 13:08 mark from Kachuk and Sanderson, and both goals tonight were on the power play for the Sens. So that is a very fluky one, but we'll take it. So that does bring the Sens to within one. It's 3-2. So the Sens did start to come on a little bit here, but I'm just like, it's too little too late, man. Like, you got Shesterkin in net. This team is unbeatable on the road, apparently, so I figured it was too little too late, and that did end up being the case. So there was a drop pass to Perron, and there was another big save by Shesterkin here, and then Stutzla would get a good look. That was also stopped by Shesterkin, and then Panarin walks into the zone, and he's got like three guys on him, and he has like a sneaky wrist shot. Actually went off the post here, so I don't know where. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So that happened, and the Sens would end up pulling Maryland for the extra attacker, and they couldn't really get too much going. So Panarin would end up scoring the empty netter here at the 19:16 mark of the third from Miller and Trocheck, and that would put the Rangers up 4-2. So it was a close game, right? I mean, the empty netter makes it look a bit worse. So yeah, the Sens would pull Maryland again. I don't know why. There's like 44 seconds left. I don't know why they bother pulling him again. It didn't affect anything, but nothing really came out of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my notes. And again, like, I'm not really that upset about this one considering. So we'll go through the 3 stars and we will go to the box score and all that wonderful stuff. So first star of the game, not surprising at all to see Shesterkin, the #1 star of the game, with a .926 save percentage. Second star of the game was Panarin. He had a goal and an assist. And the third star was Sanderson. He had 2 assists. So we'll go through the box score here. All right. So now I know nobody is going to be a plus because both of their goals were scored on the power play. Of course, you don't get a plus for a power play goal. So yeah, no pluses. But on the minus side, we got Stutzla and Kachuk -3. Batherson, Zetterlund, and Dylan Cousins -2. And Giroux and Perron -1. And then we've also got Sanderson and Jensen -2. Clevin, Matt and Paulo, and Gilbert -1. Everyone else was even. So time on ice, leading the defense once again, Sanderson with 27-30. And leading forwards, it's actually a tie between Stützle and Dylan Cousins. They both had 23-18. That might be the first time I've seen that this season, actually. And of course, the point getters, should probably mention that. Batherson did have a goal and an assist. Tkachuk had an assist, and Dylan Cousins had a goal. And Sanderson had 2 assists. So for the defense, leading the defense in shots was Sanderson and Matt Paulo with 2. And then leading the forwards in shots was Tkachuk with 5. Leading the forwards in blocks was Amadio and Giroux with 2. And then leading the defense in blocks was Sanderson and Spence. They had 3 each. Leading the defense in hits was Clevin with 4. Clevin has been looking good lately. He's really starting to turn a corner here. Leading forwards in hits was Tkachuk with 5. And Marilainen, I know he's going to have a rough save percentage. I actually thought it was a bit worse, to be honest. 23 out of 26 for an 885 save percentage. And yeah, so 4-2 ends up being your final. So we'll go look at the standings here. I know I did look at this. I did glance at it before I started recording this video. So the standings are so ridiculous, man. So I remember after the last game, they were, what, 3rd in the Atlantic or 2nd? Now the Sens are 6th in the wild card. Yep. The standings are so ridiculous, man. So they are 13, 10, and 4. They are now 5 and 5 in their last 10, so just literally mediocre. And now 6, 4, and 2 at home. So yeah, there's no reason to panic again. I'll say it again. Like, I feel like your biggest concern right now, if you're a Sens fan, is the health of Pinto. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Hopefully he is back for the next game. And their next game will be against the St. Louis Blues on Saturday, December 6th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And they're going to be looking for some revenge because the last time those two teams meet, or sorry, the last time they met, that was kind of a rough third period for the Sens. So they are going to be looking to get some revenge on them. So St. Louis, we know they've been struggling. So they are currently 9, 12, and 7, and their road record is 4, 6, and 3. They are 3, 4, and 3 in their last 10, and they have lost their last 2. And this team has allowed 100 goals, which, that's crazy, dude. That's gotta be the most, right? 100 goals against? Yeah, that's the most. So, yeah, I do look for the Sens to bounce back against them, and again, as far as this game, like I can't be overly upset about it. Again, losing Pinto is bad, and all the injuries are starting to pile up here. You know, Shabbat's still out now. Zub is out for who knows how long. Elder is out too. I would say that's probably my biggest concern because again, the Rangers, they've been beating everybody on the road, so like there's no shame in losing to them. There really isn't. And you take out the empty netter at the end, and it's a 1-goal game, right? So. I'm not going to read into this too much, but, you know, it's never fun to lose, obviously. But, yeah, hopefully the Sens can bounce back Saturday against the Blues. But I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and go Sens go.